Welcome everybody back to the show. Thank you for everybody who has been supporting us and sharing, liking, and subscribing. Please tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And please, again, our social medias are at the bottom in the description below. Please support that and our merchandise. So again, we're going to talk about the newest Week 16 in football and some NBA talk this week. So want to get to the game, a couple of hot games that happened this week over the weekend. Since all of us had a great weekend off. The NFL didn't. So one of the big games that happened over the weekend was the Dolphins and the Raiders. And this has some playoff implication on the line. And Ryan Fitzpatrick saved the day off of I'm not sure if it was supposed to be a Hail Mary or something. He was grabbed, head twisted, still got the ball out in the air, threw for 34 yards for a completion that saved the Dolphins and ended the Raiders' season pretty much. Well, no, actually officially ended the Raiders' season.
The Raiders season it's been over.
I mean, it's officially over. They had a chance. They were still in the playoff running, but this was a good one for the Dolphins. I'm really happy for them. This game, I think it's going to keep Ryan Fitzpatrick another year in the NFL because he should be on the cusp of being out the NFL, but he keeps having games in situations like this.
Why should he be out? Why should he be out? He constantly saves teams. Like, yo, he's
constantly been the quarterback to me that's like he's like a McClown where he's the quarterback before the new quarterback comes in.
Way better than McCown though.
No, I mean not any McCown. You know,
no. If we want to do this now, Fitzpatrick is its own noun. Like, yo, man, like he's our Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Like he's like if you want, like we need a good bridge quarterback. Mm-hmm. Like we may not be a great team. We have a lot of good pieces. We need a quarterback that like could keep us in contention as we really build up to our next year. Yo, we need a Fitzpatrick that can get us to it. That's what he's going to be. He did this in New York. New York last good season was him and Todd Bowles. He did this in he's putting up numbers in
Buffalo.
Buffalo. No, he's more recently he was putting numbers up in the Buccaneers. Remember like that crazy 5-game streak? Yeah. Where he was like 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like we can't. I'm tired of people disrespecting
Titans. He had some good times with the Titans before, and then he comes to Miami. So I just feel because of age. What age? He's probably I believe the fourth.
He's 38. So what?
Is he the fourth oldest quarterback right now? Fourth or fifth?
Don't matter. Yo, who's older than him? You got
Brady, Breeze.
No, I'm sorry, Brett Favre. Brady, Breeze. They still putting up numbers.
I think that's it.
What? Yo, no, we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop this second.
I think he's the third oldest player. He went the third oldest player in the league. Oh no, one of these kickers are around that same age. So,
all right, I'm looking it up now because once you brought that up, Phillip Rivers is is Phillip Rivers.
Oh yeah, Phillip Rivers.
This one guy, I don't know what he plays. This is long snapper. He's mad old. Matt Schaub, he's 38. He's still
Matt Schaub is still in the league? Nah, wait, what?
He's a backup. He's a backup
of the back. He's an assistant coach.
Yeah.
For what team?
Couple guys. Oh, Falcons. Couple guys are like long snappers. Like long snappers and kickers can play forever. Benjamin Watson is still in the league. He's 39. Josh McCown is technically in the league.
Oh, Fred Gore. That's what Fred Gore is. No, Fred Gore is around.
Fred Gore's not that old. He's like 36 maybe 37. No, Drew Brees. So the oldest ones are Drew Brees, Tom Brady. The oldest player is Adam Vinatieri. He's not still in the league, but he's 47 years old. That is crazy.
I haven't seen him.
Who, Adam Vinatieri?
Yeah. Is he
he's not
in
playing.
Indianapolis?
Yeah, he's not playing. Yeah, he can't be playing.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a free agent, but he's 48 years old.
Yeah, I mean active players. Come on, I was like, oh, yeah. But if it's Magic or Fitzpatrick,
Yo, I would love if Fitzpatrick went down. If he got a ring somewhere, I think he would go down as the best backup string quarterback of all time. Like no reason why he's not good. Like if he did what Nick Foles did, I would sing praises of Fitzpatrick because you can't. I'm just tired of.
He does deserve one.
Bro, he is.
deserves. I wish he could just go to Kansas City, get his ring, chill out, get a ring, and bounce. But
He puts up numbers, bro. Like, except for one season, he always gets. Well, except for 2 seasons,
yeah, I
he
remember that
always.
season he did with the Jets, the second year after
No,
they
but
just finished it off.
except for 2 seasons, he always has more touchdowns than interceptions. At least 2,000 yards. Like, and whenever he plays all 16, he's putting up 3,000 yards.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm tired of you. I love me some Fitzpatrick. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why, but I love Fitzpatrick. That's my guy.
I was happy for him. He probably will start next game, hopefully.
Nah, what's his name? They said Tua.
They're going to start Tua.
Yeah.
I mean, they already have the playoff. They already have the playoff under their belt. So I don't see the purpose of that. I don't know if they're trying to avoid somebody because they're not in last place right now. So, and if anything, if they have to play Pittsburgh, I'm kind of leaning towards them. So I think any better, they'll just avoid them and go play Tennessee or something. So, all right, talk about the next game I want to talk about was Kansas City and the Falcons. Really shocked on this game. Again, Kansas City is having these survival mode games where they should do everything and lose. But as usual, the Falcons blew it. And of all people, Mr. Never Miss himself, Ramapo High's own Younghoe Koo missed the game time field goal, which was and what everybody feels should have been like an extra point for him. I believe it was a 36-yarder, and he just outright missed it. He shanked it. So I was shocked over this. But I will say this. The Falcons, surprisingly, they did very well. Their plan for this game was excellent because they really had everything on this game. I would say if it wasn't for that crazy Sammy Watkins to Patrick Mahomes pass, that was just a stupid play that they tried to do. Kansas City probably would have won this game by more, but I was really impressed by what the Falcons did. And Kansas City, they gotta stop playing around with these games. I can't keep having them winning these tight games like this, man. They're scaring me, man. This is supposed to be team blowout. They should be. We at the start of the season, I thought Kansas City was going to be winning games 42-14 every week. I don't see what's going on. I'm not feeling this for them.
I'm happy though because they might not. Well, they're still the best team in football, but it shows they can get beat, and I'm happy about that.
Are they really?
Who is? Don't say the Packers.
Packers, man.
It's not the Packers. The Packers. I mean, I like the Packers, but
Adams, Aaron Jones.
Yeah, man, stop it. Let's not. Name another receiver on the Packers without looking the names up. Yeah. So I'm like.
I mean, do they really do we need to talk about another one?
But at the same time, bro, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not impressed with the Packers. I mean, it could be a Packers Super Bowl. That'd be crazy.
That'd be dope. I like to see that. I would like to see that more than honestly than the Chiefs and Saints. The Chiefs and Saints fight.
I would love if Drew Brees got another Super Bowl, retire, and then they just get a new quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
I would love that.
I just don't think Taysom Hill should be. All right, on to the next one. Saints and Rams. Saints get the NFC West. Finally, the Rams were putting pretty much of a scare throughout the season. Surprisingly, midway through the season, the Rams looked like they was falling out, and then they just came back on a rush of just multiple wins. And then all of a sudden, it kind of looked like a scare for them. But Seattle came through, took this win out. They are still in contention of getting second place, surprisingly. Depends on what happens next week with New Orleans and with them. If they win out and New Orleans loses, Seahawks get that second seed. Which could be it. Look, I'll tell you this. Seattle, as always, is still a scary team. They got kind of inconsistent midway through the season. I remember at the start of the season, everybody was like, oh, wow, Seahawks got it. But I think it's part of the NFC West. Their division was pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
But I still say they're still not the team you want to see in the playoffs. I don't, but I'm happy for them. Rams still not. I feel bad for the Rams because somebody in the NFC East is going to win that division with what could be a 6-10 record. And they're going to get that last playoff in. So I feel bad for the Rams.
Who would have thought that the Cowboys would come back? I'm happy. You know who I'm happy for? Okay,
Hold on, because we're going to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
We're going to talk about that. It's still going to be our point. You know what? Let's get to the Colts game, the Colts and Steelers, then we'll get to that and that playoff spot. All right, just quickly. All right. Pittsburgh surprises survivors versus the Colts. Comes back to win out of nowhere. Colts had this game all in their hands. They had it, and Pittsburgh finally. To me, this is their finally. They had their statement win. You know, most of their wins. A lot of people like trash teams barely won. This was a comeback win. They finally held themselves on. I feel bad for the Colts because they had it. They had it in their hands, and the Colts are turning it into the San Diego Chargers. So, if anything, it's Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers should be getting used to this.
I think it's Phillip Rivers' fault, though, bro. Like, it's not.
No, it's not. It was the defense. The defense of the Colts did this. Yeah, I see what Andrew Luck was going through. I'm like, man. I was like, yeah, I see why Andrew Luck retired. He's like, yeah, I can't do this. It's not working. It's not working out.
Bro, he got sacked 5 times. So that'll do
but
it.
Three of those sacks came in late in the fourth. Like he started getting. I think he had a back-to-back sack. So, but throughout the game, it was looking like, oh, the Colts got this. The Colts got this. And I'm seeing the game, and I was like, and our mutual Pittsburgh fan, I was like, oh, she gonna beat it. I was like, Colts got this. And now nowhere I turned, I looked at the fourth quarter. I was like, what?
You know, it's funny. I was annoyed how loud Pittsburgh fans got. They were real quiet when they had them 2 losses. Real quiet. Like, best team. And I was like, it's just nothing. And all of a sudden, Pittsburgh. I'm like, all right. I mean, nobody talking about like, that was a bad loss. Our team needs to work on some things. Just like, shut down. I'm like, all right.
Good win for them, man. Bad for them. So they're pretty much locked in for the second seed. So I wanted to get to the subject. It's probably going to be a bulk subject. What team do you want to see make that final seed? So we're going to talk about the Browns and the Colts first. They're both battling right now for the last spot in the AFC. The Colts lost to the now red-hot New York Jets, which blew their chance of getting that final seed. If the Browns had won Sunday, they would have had that final seed pretty much on line. So which one do you want to see take that final spot?
Bro, I really don't know. Why don't you go? I'll think about it.
I kind of want the Browns more because the Browns, the story of the Browns, I think, is more appealing than the Colts. The Colts have had a playoff history. The Browns have been, really the epitome of the process. We've seen them in our lifetime go 0-16 twice. So for them to finally build up, to have 2,000-yard rushers and not make the playoffs would be crazy, in my opinion. Their quarterback is not trash. Their defense is not trash. And they will be at minimum 10-6. And, a 10-6 team that doesn't make the playoffs always breaks my heart. Because that's a very good record for your regular season. So, for them to – and I think – so they need to win. They need to win Sunday. They need to win. They have to win. But it's funny when they lost to the Jets. I was listening to Dan Lebatard last week, and he was talking about, the Browns are facing the red-hot Jets. And, everybody took it as a joke, and then the Jets started really playing and winning. So for them to actually pull this off win. But the thing is that I would feel bad for Phillip Rivers for him not to make the playoffs. But to me, even if they make the playoffs, I don't see the Colts winning another game. I think they'll be a one and done. The Browns, depending on who they face. Because if they beat Pittsburgh, they might reface Pittsburgh. No, that's right. They don't do that no more. They have. I'm not sure. Can they still do that? I know the NFL had that rule for a while that if you can't face your team in your same conference at the end of the first round of the playoffs. It depends. But it depends. If they win, And if Bills win, Pittsburgh loses, Browns play Pittsburgh. But if Browns win, Bills lose, they might face, Pittsburgh gets the second seed. It's crazy, but I kind of want the Browns to win it. Even if they lose, I just want them to say we finally made the playoffs for once.
Yeah, I would love to see the Browns.
If they lose, that would say so much about the NFL, the changes in the NFL. Like I said, most of us growing up in the 90s, seeing that 90s NFL where the running game was the bulk of why you won, to see the Browns, who are a primary running team, not make the playoffs and have a pretty strong defense. And don't have Baker Mayfield is not trash. He's actually a pretty decent quarterback. I really don't want to see them take that out, but they play Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh love to beat the Browns.
Yeah, it's like it's just a natural thing to do.
Yeah, I remember. Was it last year they beat them? They beat them in the last game of the season, or 2 seasons ago. They beat them in the last game of the season. So, and they was trying to make 500 for the first time in years, and they did it to them. So I'm hoping for the Browns. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts pull this off because they have to play Jacksonville.
As I'm drinking vitamin water, I'm like, product placement. So anyway, I like Washington. Well, you said a team, but you made a list. You said Washington, Dallas, or New York.
And for the NFC. So they're the last team. They're pretty much the last team for the NFC.
I wouldn't mind Dallas. I mean, I wouldn't want Washington, but they just surprised the crap out of me, letting go. I'm deleting Dwayne Haskins. Like they must just not like him. Like just not like him.
Yo, I don't understand. So, you know what's going to be crazy is that when he eventually talks about what happens behind the scenes, because there are always these players that when you find out what happened behind the scenes, then you start to understand it's like, oh, okay, we get it. Oh, we get it now. And I think something's happening behind the scenes that he's not letting loose. I don't think it's just him upset that his team is, he's having a rough season, because I think coming to the NFL, you had to come to agreement that you're going to be rough especially your rookie year. And then your second year, yeah, but
I think that homeboy, the coach, I think they just not Ron Rivera doesn't really he gives you a short leash. Like he probably cut Cam if Cam wasn't putting up numbers. Like I mean, I don't know. Maybe that franchise is like, yo, we not taking any chances with anybody who causes any sort of distraction because we are big enough distraction ourselves. You're not following COVID. You see our owner just got hit with a $1.5 million settlement. We're not dealing with it. We're not dealing. We ain't even got a name. We're not dealing with it.
Yeah, they don't want no drama.
But I found that bothered me, the fact that they just. Because I hope that guy got talking to me bro. I mean, these are millionaires, but they still have feelings and emotions. My man was the man in Ohio State. Now he's nothing. And it's like, if he is not a millionaire, but he got paid for 2 seasons. Yeah. So now I'm just like, I hope that he has the money that he has, continues to train, because somebody's gonna pick him up off the bench. Someone's gonna pick him up. Yeah. Because he was the man in college, so he's gonna get a job, right? But it's just you hope that he doesn't he's a millionaire, a young millionaire. He goes out and does drugs and does stupid stuff. No, I'm serious. That's what I hope doesn't.
I just hope. I hope for Dwayne Haskins again. He's from is he from East Orange? I know he's from somewhere in Jersey.
I think I should know that too.
Yeah, he's either from, I believe he's actually from Essex County too. But
no, he's from Highland Park, New Jersey.
Oh, he's not from down there. Oh yeah, by New Brunswick.
Yeah, let's not give him any sort of respect. That's from a tough area. No.
No, okay. Highland Park is it's not that.
It's a pleasant community. It's a community. It's not even a neighborhood. It's not a city. It's not a town.
It's part of a town.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's all right. But I hope for the best for him. What's crazy is that there was 2 years ago, the battle, people from the Giants fans were actually clamoring for him to come to the Giants, and then you got so many people mad at Daniel Jones, and this could end up being the reverse. If the Giants make the playoffs, Daniel Jones gets in the playoffs on the best 6-10 record.
I hope he's gonna get picked up, bro. If Geno Smith can get picked up, all this kid did was go to a club and throw some interceptions on a bad team. But it's But now what's really funny, I wanted Washington to get there because I was like, not for I don't like Washington now as a culture, but I was like, you know what? I'm rooting for Alex Smith. I'm hoping they get it.
Mhm.
Now I'm like, I'm actually rooting for Andy Dalton because I appreciate Andy Dalton. So I'm like, yeah, let him get there. Let him. He deserves it. Like, you know, because all of a sudden, this team that let him go, they team just as bad, and now he leaves and he goes makes the playoffs, and
But on the
like
bad record,
whatever,
I
don't
will tell
matter.
you this: the
But he
reason I
didn't play.
don't,
Wait, he didn't play most of the
yes,
season.
yeah.
So like he comes in, no, but he comes in. Oh yeah, we made the playoffs. He's putting up touchdowns in
Yeah.
games. Let him get it. Let him
Well,
have it.
but obviously for risk of being a homer, yes, I'm a Giants fan, so I want the Giants to beat Dallas next week. But the thing is that I want them to get a high draft pick because obviously the Giants need a wide receiver, and I'm hoping we get.
Y'all need defense, bro. Y'all got enough wide
Our
receivers.
defense is not actually that bad. They could use some slight improvements. I do wish to get another defensive tackle and another linebacker, but
When you say not that bad, that shows your team is really bad.
like we're not Jacksonville bad, but
Jacksonville is actually a pretty good team. It's just they just don't. They have bad. I don't know what it is. Coaching. I don't know what it is. Because I think it's culture. But whatever.
The reason I don't want Dallas outside of my personal disdain for the Cowboys, more for their fans, but it would risk Dak getting a new contract because if they make the playoffs without Dak, they're not trying to resign Dak. He's not trying to see no more. So that would mess.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That would mess them up. That would totally mess them up. So I would think if anything, he better deflate some footballs or something to mess them up.
You know why? You know why Jacksonville is so bad? If you look at their injury reserve list, it's insane, man. Like insane. How many people?
But can we at the start of the season we didn't expect them to do much anyway.
Yeah, but it added to them having but when all of these people come back, all of these receivers, defensive players, I mean, they might. Who knows, man? Because this team ain't much different than the team with Blake Bortles, except for the running back and one
corner. The cornerbacks are not the same. Listen, a couple
because they're gonna get Trevor Lawrence, bro. That team is already. That's gonna be something funny. That's gonna be a scary.
We'll see. It's kind of crazy because, like Gardner Minshew, I think he really thought he had this. He had a good home to be a starter. So I kind of feel bad for him because last year he kind of was like the player to watch. It was fun to watch him, but Mike Glennon, I think he's come to terms with him being a career back. So, but if anything, I want the Giants to make the playoffs, but I know they'll be a one and done. They'll lose to. I just hope they don't get blown out. But I expect the Giants to beat Dallas next week. I don't know what to expect because Washington could win. And I won't be mad about the Giants not making the playoffs, honestly, because I still, like I said, I want them to get a high draft pick, and I think wide receiver would be a big key in what's missing for them because they need to air the ball out. They need to air the ball out more. So if anytime I'm going for the Browns and the Giants, I wouldn't be mad at the Colts of Washington. All right, so now let's get into our NBA discussion. So NBA is back, has some great games on Friday, but I really want to talk about what happened last night. Everybody, it was crazy. Start of season, people really talk about the Clippers, and then they get blown. To see a game where I was looking, I was like, wait a minute, they down 50? I never seen. I was like, yo, that looked like a crazy football score when it was down 77-27. That looked like one of those college D1, like when Alabama played like Chattanooga State or something, one of those schools. And I was like, what is this? Luka was just bombing on them. What happened to the Clippers? I thought the Clippers, after they beat the Nuggets and seeing them, seeing PG-13 hitting some corner threes for once, I was like, okay, Clippers might actually be working this year. And to see what happened to them by Luka and the killer Mavs. I think the Mavs were still mad at them over what happened to them last year with the KP injury. Because like most of us, we really believe that I think the Clippers would have lost to Dallas in the first round. So for what Dallas pulled last night, that was disgusting, man. Luka was out of control. Everybody on the Mavs was out of control. It was sad. It was sad and appalling at one point.
I know where our list, what we're gonna talk about, and I'm sorry, but I saw that. I was like 50 points. Hey, that's bad. That's really bad because I think that's we played ball together, but we've never played ball together in this situation. I'm not a trash talker. I don't get angry. Like I just play. I just want to have fun. I really just want to have fun. I don't even have I'm not even that competitive. But like the only time it comes out, like, and it'll come out, and I gotta check myself, is if I'm losing bad and like if I lost really bad. Like I'm talking like game to 12 and we got 2. I don't know how. Like, and I'm like, I don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
But I've been in those situations, and I was like, yo, run it back. I don't care who, run it back. I don't care who has next. Play this game again. And then it just comes out, and I turn into like, I don't know. Just I go in. I get like 7 points straight, like because it's like I saved all my turbo for that moment. And so, but that's me as just a person who loves the game of basketball. So I don't mind losing. If game's 12 and I got like 8, I'm not mad. That means that we made a bad mistake or somebody got a hot. So as a person who just plays a game, who wants to have a good game, I'm not letting myself get blown out. So as an NBA player, losing by 20, that feels bad. But again, it's 2 points, threes are everywhere, fouls. Like it's possible. 50 points, 51 points is a matter of, like you said, that's like Duke versus Wichita State. I mean, Wichita State's not bad.
Not even that bad.
Yeah, Wichita State's not that bad. Like I can't even think. I don't know a bad college like that. I mean, that's a D1.
No, that's Duke versus NJIT.
Sure. Like it doesn't like do you not care about playing? Yeah, like do you not have any sort of like enjoyment of the game? Like that right there is an indictment on how much they actually appreciate the game. And that's an indictment on the coaching. And not because, he can't adjust or he can't. Because there's a point where the players are just going to stop listening to the coaching and start playing hard for themselves. Then it's like they didn't. So it's like I can't imagine like you just letting yourself get berated to the tune of 51 points and you feel okay about it. Like, yes, when you make $40 million a year, I guess you can sleep well at night. But that's just, if you like the game, I'm not going to let that happen, man. Like,
at least cut it. Like, it got to a point where it felt like they couldn't even cut the lead down. Like,
it was a consistent 50 points.
It was like,
yeah,
it was between 45 and 50. Like, it just kept rotating. Down by 46.
So they don't want to. So they don't want to listen to the coach, or the coach doesn't know how to handle them. And like I'm almost starting to wonder, like with Paul George, like the only coach that he really did well was with Frank Vogel, right? Yeah. And was that because he was young, didn't make his money yet, and he wanted to showcase like, yo, I'm great, coach, let me play, so I can get my contract.
Respectable with Billy Donovan that 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year. I don't want to hear that. 1 year. And then he had, Russell, who was going to get you, no matter what, Russell's going to play. Russell's going to get you a win. And he's going to get you, having Russell going to your teams guarantee you 40 wins, right? Like, that's just a guarantee. But so for some reason, man, it's just like, I don't know. Like, I like Paul George, but I don't get the same sort of feeling. Like, if I want to build my team, I wouldn't pick him up. I pick him up. But I for darn sure going to have somebody else who I know is going to be a little bit more consistent. Not even a matter of shooting. It sucks. It's funny. I was playing ball, and I was like, I don't have a shot. Like I just don't. I have a mid-range game. I developed mid-range. Surprisingly, I have mid-range, but I can't shoot outside. Something about the consistency of it, I just don't have. And it sucks that the NBA is all about three-pointers now. So if you can't shoot, that's why the Warriors suck. Like you can't shoot, you can't do well, and they're not shooting well. They have great inside, and it's like, so I would not build on a team on a player who can't really create for himself right now, and it seems lazy to do so.
Yeah, and we wanted to talk briefly on that. What's wrong with the Warriors? I think the biggest.
I got it. Let me say, here's what's wrong with the Warriors. Really quick, really wrong with the Warriors. The Warriors, Steve Kerr is overrated as a coach. Been saying it for years. Well, whatever. Good coach for the team that he had. He realized that he is surrounded by 3 of the best shooters, maybe of all time, and a decent enough power forward who loves to pass, and an athletic center who can get putbacks and tap the ball out to them. right? Great. Spread the ball out, move around, confuse people, blah, 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 blah. Now, all he got is Steph, who cannot carry a team on himself, and two other players who are good creators and mid-range players and athletic, but can't shoot for the life of them. They can't. They're not shooter. Kelly Oubre is not a shooter, but he's athletic. You got Andrew Wiggins. Athletic, not a shooter. So he hasn't changed his game around. He hasn't changed his game plan around to not make it be predicated on everybody can shoot a three, because everyone can't shoot a three, and now you're screwed.
And Kelly Oubre can't do nothing. It looked like, the Bulls game, he actually had more respectable game, but my God, I was like, yo, they was getting, what I saw when they were playing Brooklyn was ridiculous, man. I was like,
they traded for players who they thought were who they thought were number one. Well, they traded for players who thought were 2 and 3 or 2 and 2A options.
Yeah.
When in actuality they weren't. They just weren't. Those are players who are predicated on hustle, no consistency of game, no skill set. They are purely athletic. They are young. They can jump out the building and they can hit shots occasionally. But they need somebody who can help facilitate for that for them.
Exactly.
And
they're missing that. We'll see if Draymond come back.
Steph Curry should do that. Yeah, if Draymond come back, they'd probably be better because they don't have to create. They can't create. They are not creators.
Yeah, Steph is not a true point, because Steph, as much of a point guard as he is, size-wise, he's really undersized too. His best
I don't even think it's about size. It's not even size. It's just he's just not. He wants to score. At first, when he came into the league, he wanted to be a pass player who could shoot. Yeah. But then he realized I could just pull up on everybody because I got Clay to help me. I got a power forward. I got a power forward and a center who don't want to score, so I never have to worry about throwing the ball inside. Yeah. You ever notice that he doesn't have to give the ball in? He can just shoot and watch everybody else get rebounds.
Yeah.
And so now he's like, crap, I got to create for these guys, and I can't. Not that he can't. I haven't done it for so long. And my team's so bad, I kind of got to do everything. So the era of 135 points for the Warriors is gone. If they could lock down on defense and maybe figure out how to be 100-point scorer but keep the people under 100 themselves, they'd be set. But no, homeboy, Steve Kerr, he ain't got that. What's the word? He doesn't have that when they change. He doesn't have that adjustment in his repertoire yet. And that's all right.
I think they need to build more on Wiseman. I think Wiseman, they need to really get the ball out of Oubre a lot more and Wiggins and rely more on Wiseman. I think Wiseman.
Can you tell how much I love basketball compared to football? So, like, you look at Wiseman. You can't create around a rookie who's not really a powerful player. Like the last center we got that was a big, powerful player who could dominate the post was Dwight Howard. He is not Dwight Howard. He is more so on he is athletic. No, he is not. He is more like he's really, really, really well. He reminds me a little bit more of Emeka Okafor. Emeka has more of a move set. He does, but he's not. He can't create for himself, right?
You have to pass him the ball. But he has a pretty decent outside jumper.
He does, but you can't rely on that one from a big man, especially with a team like Steph. And the thing is, who's going to get a rebound if he misses it?
Yeah.
You know who their power forward? Who is their power forward? Exactly. I think they're power forward.
Pascal.
He's 6'6".
No, I thought he's 6'9". I'll check that out. I wouldn't be surprised if 6'6".
So he needs to adjust his team. And the fact that he let JaVale McGee go was idiotic, because now you got guys who are shooting threes because that's all you know how to do, with nobody inside to get the rebound. And a rookie
is the best player. Is the best.
And a rookie wants to get his numbers. He's not going past that. He's not. I want to get it. I want to go for it. I seen him take some ill-advised shots. We've all taken ill-advised. He'll take it and just throw it up, and barely. And he's the rookie. He's not getting fouls. And I'm just disappointed about how they are moving and how they're playing. Is like, bro, adjust it. You got to go more traditional pick and roll, slow things down. Steph can't be a facilitator. So I think when they get Draymond Green, be a much better team, because he is the best facilitator on that team, the most willing facilitator as well. Steph does it because he sees the open man and he's like, all right, I want to be nice. But Draymond Green legitimately wants to do it. He gets 16s off of putbacks and easy threes, but he gets the rebounds. He gets the this made me appreciate. And
he sets the picks, and he gets the open. He sets the picks to get Steph open and Clay open, and he'll get the ball to them. So
I thought Draymond was overrated. I really did. But then now I'm seeing it is like, I almost feel like I realized I play like Draymond. Like I like Draymond, just a big guy who's not that big, but uses his body well, and he loves all facets of the game. Like he looks at the game. Like he's annoying when he talks, like in interviews and stuff. But in terms of the game, I was so wrong. He's solid, and I think that's going to help them dramatically when he comes back.
When he comes back, definitely, I agree with that too. One quick point. A couple of podcasts ago, we kept talking about how the Hawks were going to be the team to watch. Trae Young has been on fire. I think a lot more people need to start paying attention to Trae Young's game. He's been smoking. He's been smoking out of control with these 30s that he's dropping. He's becoming the player that I think people realizing he could be, which is another step. Another step. So I've been happy watching him. I saw his last game drop 36. And like we said, I think we both agreed Atlanta Hawks are going to be the team to watch in the East. As much as most people need to, everybody's paying attention to all these other teams. Atlanta Hawks, don't be shocked. Don't be surprised with it, especially the way they were playing.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said it. Yeah, you're right. I said it. I was like, that the way they were building, the way they were adding. I think Trae Young is a great scorer, but like I don't know. I think in certain situations he doesn't make a team better. He is not somebody that makes a team better. And I don't like play. I appreciate players, but if a player doesn't make a team better, in terms of like I'm not impressed fully. But like if you need a quick 25 and some flashy assists, but he I'm like, oh man, but he don't get assists that make the team. I don't know, better. It's just I like him though.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's like another player. He's another undersized. So if they had another like most seasons, if they had a player like Lonzo or LaMelo as a point guard and him being the two, that would work so much better. Like they need that tall 6'6", 6'7" point guard that would facilitate, cut through defenses and swing him the ball for open shots instead of him pretty much having to hold the ball, handle the ball, and get his own shot. To me, in my opinion. So, but speaking of these other teams in the East, so last night we had some surprise losses. The Nets lost to the Hornets with KD getting yammed on by Terry Rozier and missing a clutch jumper that would have tied the game. The 76ers lost to the now red-hot Cavs, and the Bucks lost to the Knicks. Ooh, is this something we should be worried about, or is just teams just not caring?
First off, I'm happy for the Knicks because I'm not a New York fan. I don't believe in being a homer, but I'm happy for the Knicks for the fact that that team's been bad for so long, and their fans are just so loyal, but also disrespectful and disgruntled at the same time. So whatever. But like, again, I'm just happy that they got this win because it's a glimmer of hope that, hey, things are going. So I'm really happy about them. I don't really care for the 76ers, but again, Cavs are in that same sort of boat where it's like, but remember last season they won like 2 games in a row too. So it's not whatever. But like, I hope that the Cavs get it together because it's like, good for them. Like this core is rebuilding. They are starting two undersized guards at the 1 and 2. And then, but you got guys just like hustling. You can't have this many top 5 draft picks and not get good eventually.
Yeah.
So they're Sexton is playing well. Garland is good. You know what I'm saying? I was like, good for them. I'm happy about that. But
Andre Drummond's getting his.
I love to see bad teams get good.
Yeah.
I don't like the Nets. I don't like that they went to Brooklyn because I'm from Jersey. That's the only team. My dad bought me an authentic Jason's Kid jersey, so I always have a place in my heart for the Nets because of that gift. But I'm not the biggest fan of Kevin Durant for different reasons, not because of the whole snake thing. I'm not the biggest fan. I think he's one of the best players ever of all time.
Yeah.
Kyrie too, he's great. But I was like, that's something that bothered me. And again, we talk about the AAU, like they're going, let's get our boys together.
Yeah.
Like I hate that fake crap. I hate that fake competition. So I don't like that. So the fact that they lost to Charlotte, I was like, great. Because it seems bad. Like Charlotte has always been bad. So it's like,
they've been
now that
bad
Charlotte can be decent. That's a fantastic thing to see. Like I love seeing good teams, bad teams get good because it just shows the heart and the preparation and the dedication of the team. Is like, man, like I'm not trying to be bad no more. And I was like,
I was really impressed. I was really impressed with that Charlotte game because they played a very good team game. It was shocking to see, I was kind of, at the start of the season, I was wondering how Gordon Hayward was going to play with them. and he fits perfectly. He was balling out of control last night. He was catching dunks, and I couldn't tell you it was the last time I seen Gordon Hayward. I think he caught like 3 dunks actually.
Yeah.
Ball was LaMelo is being the player that I think most of us thought he should have been, which is the facilitator, moves the ball around. He's not looking to chuck up a bunch of shots, even though like his first game he didn't score, but it looked like all his shots were like last second. I'll just have to throw this up just to throw it up. But now he's looking to more facilitate. He's the one who passed the ball to Rozier on that fast break that caught that dunk. So he's getting that. It's strange seeing him be this type of player as a 6-man. So he's kind of playing the Andre Iguodala was for the Warriors type player, where he'll come in off the bench, he'll get you, 8 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. He's gonna be that type of player I can see for now. But I like the way he was moving with them. I like the way they was playing. I like Miles Bridges has been shooting out of control. I forgot who they played the night before. They played OKC, but Miles Bridges shot like 4 straight 3-pointers, and he was going off last night too. The Nets, I hate that they lost Dinwiddie. He's going to be out, but the kid who came in for Dinwiddie seems to be a pretty good, decent scorer. The Nets, I'm not sure if these teams last night took their competition for granted. I think that's pretty much what happened last night. I think the Bucks really took their competition for granted. But I think most teams, like I said, any given night, anybody can win in the NBA. So, but I will say, Hornets, pay attention. Pay attention to Hornets. This is a good, I think, a pretty good built team. They have pieces that fit around them. Like Bismack Biyombo is a rebounder, not a defensive player who's not looking to score, and he doesn't shoot 3. So he got the person who could be that inside player to get all the boards, pass around. Hayward, Rozier, Bridges, and I forgot the other guard for Hornets. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but he's pretty good. Ball's coming off the bench doing his numbers. So I'm actually impressed by what Charlotte's doing. I'm looking for, let's see, we played 72 games for them. Could they come out 36-36? I think that'd be good for them. If they pull out 36 wins off an 82 season, I was going to be impressed by them. So I think they're not bad.
I think Gordon Hayward, he's not my favorite player, and I have a thing towards why I think everybody think he's great. I think it's kind of like that. I sound like, who was that person who said that? Dennis Rodman. I think he has that Larry Bird effect. Not that he's as good as Larry Bird, but remember back in the day when Dennis Rodman said it, Larry Bird. Yeah, I think he got that going on. Like why they treat him like he's so good.
I think because he had the numbers when he played with Utah. Well, first of all, he was a good player coming out of Butler. Like Butler was. Let's be honest. Before he came there, we never heard of Butler. Never. That's not one school we can. There have been schools that come out and say that Indiana, Purdue, Notre Dame, Butler. Come on. And then to see it wasn't just Brad Stevenson, it was actually Gordon Hayward, and he had some good years. Like he's put up multiple 24 years, and that injury when he had that crazy injury in Boston, to see him come back, he's not as bad as what happened to like Sean Livingston, but from what he came back from, to see him balling, I'm happy with him. I just didn't think he could be a starter again. I didn't think he was going to be a starter, but he's doing his numbers, so I'm happy for him. So I'll say I'm watching for them. I'm watching for the Heat. As always, I gotta throw it up for Miami, so I'm watching out for them. See what they do this year. I might be talking big, but I might see Duncan Robinson average 20 points a game this year.
Oh, you're talking stupid. That's not good.
Yo, it's crazy to see him quiet as kept really be, as much as Jimmy Butler handles the ball, they really look to Duncan for their number one shooting option. Like he's really their number one shooter. So they really look for him to shoot first.
If Duncan McBride Robinson.
The pride of New Hampshire. But surprisingly, he went to Michigan.
I don't care where he went. My man is.
Michigan was a good school, good college program.
I just can't. I can't be scared of somebody. And you know what's funny? This is how people score on me. Like I'll look at you like I just don't
Yeah.
respect what you do. I don't. I
You
can't. I
just got,
can't.
you get
And
caught.
you know, I'm like, go ahead, get like you could shoot on me. But anyway, I just don't. Whatever. And even if you win, I'm like, bro, he's from York, Maine. His parents are Elizabeth and Jeffrey Robinson. Like I just like I can't.
He's raised from New Hampshire, went to high school
I've
for 5 years. I never even knew that was possible.
a
Like to go
lot of
extra year of high
players
school.
do that.
No, not like stood back. He went for a bonus year of high school. Like
A lot of players do that, bro. I think John Wall did that.
no, but like that's because you stay back.
No,
You stay back your
I don't know if
sophomore
he
year.
stayed back. I hope he
No,
didn't.
he didn't. He went for a bonus year of high school.
I'm saying
I
John
never,
Wall. John Wall
no.
did that. John Wall was in high school 5 years.
But we know plenty of kids who stood back in high school. So they played 2 years, an extra year of senior, So they was 19 when they were graduating. 19, 20 graduated, and they was 19 killing us.
I'm looking at that junk now. I remember that. I remember, yeah, high school. John Wall as a 5th-year senior. I was like, what?
Yeah. So but the thing is that for him to be the Heat number one option, like he has the green light. Like the Heat tell him shoot all the time you touch the ball. That's not typically he's not typically the type of player you give that green light to. You give it to the Trae Youngs, you give it to the Stephs, you give it to Jimmy. But for him to get this green light, I'm really waiting to see what he could do. I'm waiting to see what he could do. I wouldn't be surprised if he's getting 15 to 18 shots a game, he's going to get 20 points a game. He's going to get it. We'll see, but I'm throwing it out there. I'm throwing it up for Duncan Robinson. I'm giving up for Jimmy Neutron. So go get yours, kid. All right, everybody. So that's going to wrap up the show this week. So next week we're going to talk about the end of the NFL season, some more NBA talk, see what else is happening in sports, and get y'all ready for the playoffs. So everybody, again, thank you for everybody. Please like, share, subscribe. Let everybody know about the podcast. Let everybody for the show know. Thank you for everybody who's been commenting, letting me know what they like about the show, what they don't like, any improvements we need to do. And again, please support the merchandise and our businesses below. Thank you, everybody, and enjoy your day.